Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push in the word in truth and in sincerity. This is the brother Yahshua. I'm back with another short lesson and video. And the name of this lesson is going to be called Prelude to Blue Book. All right. And not Blue Beam, but Blue Book. All right. Which was a program in the government, in the military from, I believe it was the late 60s through the 70s. I think they closed it maybe in the early 80s, maybe before that. And I'll have all that information soon. But basically, it was about Esau trying to explain away the chariots by falsifying information and creating what they call false flags or psyops, like the Betty and Barney Hill abduction and things of that nature, where they would use regression therapy and plant whole scenarios in people's head with MK Ultra and different types of witchcraft and mind control. All right. So all of that was working hand in hand. All right. And I mean, if there were any aircraft that they called flying saucers or whatever, Adolf Hitler during World War II was working on Satan's angels in their aircraft, which are man-made flying saucers. So if ever a flying saucer crashes, it was one of Esau's man-made creations, because the Most High's chariots and the angels do not crash and get captured. That's myth and folklore. So anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just quickly touch on the chariots, and then I'm gonna do some more research, and I'm gonna bring up the blue book. So, and that's in the next. It'll be Blue Book Part 2, but this will be Prelude to Blue Book. So we're going to start with Revelation 11 and 12, okay, because this is how we're getting up out of here. And this is the day, the hastening of the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the year of the hastening of the day. So in concert with that, we're going to start right here. This is Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. All right? So, I mean, when you're at war, you have an enemy. Okay? We are at war. And right now, we're prisoners of war to our enemy, our arch enemy, the nation of Edom. Okay? And they got us captured here in Babylon the Great. And this is referring to the extraction, where they rescue the Most High and the angels. They rescue the prisoners of war out of Babylon the Great. Read it again. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. All right, that's an extraction. Okay, the chariots are going to fly in, and they're going to beam us up and extract us from this prison camp known as Babylon the Great. Right? This is Revelation 1, and this also is referring to that extraction, right? Or what they call the second coming. Revelation 1 and 7, Behold, He cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so. Amen. Okay? Everybody's going to see when they say the revolution shall not be televised. Well, right here, whether it's on television or not, okay? And it will be televised. They're going to be so shit scared. All right? But chariots are going to be so big, especially Yahushua. Everybody's going to see it. They're going to walk outside, just like that scene in Independence Day. That's what that's depicting. All right? Let's get Second Kings to get the correct name. This is 2 Kings 2 and 12. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. Okay? There's your name right there. Not UFO, but chariot of Israel. All right? Let's get a little more on that. Start at 11. 2 Kings 2 and 11. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it. He saw what? He saw the chariot of fire. Okay. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, and there's the name, the chariot of Israel. Let's get Psalm. And it's going to be real quick. 104. Swing low, sweet chariot. Psalms 104 and 1. Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord, my power, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, who stretchest out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, right here, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Okay, so the clouds are cloaking devices for the chariots of Israel. Okay, let's get Exodus 13. Because the parting of the Red Sea, okay, the chariot was involved in that situation, all right? This is Exodus 13 and 21. Where is it? And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. Okay, that's referring to a huge chariot that was out in the desert with the children of Israel, protecting, feeding, shading them. All right, let's get 14. Exodus 14:19. And the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all night. So that's an that is a indication that the chariots were protecting the Israelites. basically fighting for him, fighting Pharaoh and his chariots, you know, defending the children of Israel. We'll get a couple more. We'll go ahead and close it up. This is let's get Second Ezra 13 real quick. Second Ezra 13 and 5, 13 and 6. Ooh, let's see. Let's start right here at 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, talking about the angels. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Means he was flying. Oh, that don't mean he's flying. 13 and 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven. Salakia. Start at 6, I'm sorry. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain. Okay? As in, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. He had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. Okay? How do you fly up upon a great mountain? All right? Well, it's a mystery to those that don't know. But we're talking about Yahushua, how he's coming back, right? Let's get one more. Let's get Acts. Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly towards heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? The same Yahushua which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. They were speaking of the second coming. When he comes back, he's coming in the same manner as you've seen him go. How did he go? A cloud received him out of the sight. We're dealing with this cloud right here, which is a chariot of Israel, all right? So we'll go ahead and close it up right there. This is called Prelude to Blue Book, all right? And Blue Book was a operation in the military where they were trying to cover up the chariots, right, by saying that, oh, flying saucers from outer space and little green man and da-da-da-da, all right? And then dispelling, explaining them away and calling people crazy and conspiracy theorists who actually had encounters or were hoaxed, were what they call psyoped. All right, so with that, I hope that the elect were edified, and with that, we'll say shalom until next time.